Hello dear friends and subscribers, good morning to you all here from this cricket happening show from your host Ram. And we had a very exciting match that happened yesterday at the Gabba in Brisbane. It was a match which was played between Ireland and United Arab Emirates, this was the match which was played. It was the 16th match in the ICC Cricket World Cup 2015 Pool B clash, let me tell you, the Brisbane cricket game, Wollongabba and Brisbane, was sparsely populated, not much of a crowd. But let me tell you, many people would have missed this excitement because it's one of those exciting matches that happened. Finally, United Arab Emirates were looking pretty good, probably for an upset victory over Ireland. Finally couldn't actually do that, and it was Ireland who prevailed over United Arab Emirates in the final over. They won the match by 2 wickets with 4 balls to spare. So just talking about this particular match, the feature was United Arab Emirates had a centurion, or Shaiman Anwar, who showed a lot of prowess in that match against Zimbabwe. Today, totally flowered, and he and Amjad Javed actually put up a record stand for the 7th wicket, which was a record in World Cups. I think they put on 115 runs to actually take the United Arab Emirates to once again a very consistent total, one could say. Last time they made 285, now today they made 278 for 9. Well, the toss was actually, and Shaiman Anwar went on to make his maiden century and World Cup, 106 runs of 83 balls with 10 fours and 1 6, a magnificent knock, one could say, under the circumstances. Looking at the way United Arab Emirates was struggling at 131 for 6 in the 35th over, it was a stupendous effort by the Shaiman Anwar, the Shaiman Anwar, the United Arab Emirates batsman. And looking at it, it all started with the Irish captain. It was William Porterfield actually winning the toss and have no hesitation in inserting United Arab Emirates to bat. And the reason it influenced him to actually put the United Arab Emirates to bat was the simple reason that probably there was a cloud cover hanging there, and that was what prompted him, and he probably thought that his seamers would get some purchase from the wicket. It all started with United Arab Emirates Amjad Ali and Abe Berenger starting off proceedings. John Mooney was there with the new cherry, and John Mooney, he was not getting much of a moment, even though there was a cloud cover hanging. It was a subtle movement, one could say. Max Sorensen also bowled well, and both of them started off, and Amjad Ali and Berenger slowly but steadily built up an opening partnership. Amjad Ali played some pleasing strokes. It was pretty strong through the offside, and also one of the strokes that he played was beautifully, he got to the pitch of the ball and beautifully had a very good on drive to the fence. So Amjad Ali was looking pretty pleasing with his strokes. Berenger was not getting much of the strike, so it all started with the opening stand adding 49 runs for the first wicket, and finally it took Kevin O'Brien it was not Kevin O'Brien, it was Peter Sterling who was given the ball, and Peter Sterling, I thought, bowled excellently. In fact, he was the pick of the bowlers yesterday. 10 overs, no made, and 27 runs and 2 wickets. What he did is immediately broke that opening stand by picking up the wicket of Berenger, caught by Porterfield for 13 of 25 balls with 1 4. Krishna Chandran. Now, Krishna Chandran was the person who actually joined Amjad Ali, who was rooted at the crease. Now, Krishna Chandran couldn't contribute anything. He didn't trouble the scorers at all, as he was out for naught, and Sterling was the man who dismissed it, and that was something that United Arab Emirates, after getting a decent start, were finding themselves in a bit of trouble at 53 for 2 when Krishna Chandran passed away for a duck. After that, Amjad Ali was joined in by the consistent player Khurram Khan. Khurram Khan, he was not very convincing yesterday. He was struggling at the crease a bit. Amjad Ali was the one who was stroking the ball, but Amjad Ali himself was a victim as Kevin O'Brien picked up his wicket. As Amjad Ali made a pleasing 45. of 71 balls with 5 fours, which made the score 73 for 3. And then suddenly there was a clatter of wickets. In fact, the wickets started falling at regular intervals as Ireland really came back into the game. First they picked up the wicket of Swapnil Patel, who was dismissed for 2, and then Khurram Khan himself was a victim, as George Dockrell, the left-arm spinner, had him LBW for 36 or 53 balls with 2 fours. And then Rohan Mustafa was sent back to the today, as you know, keeping in view that it was a Brisbane pitch, Gabba Brisbane, which afforded a lot of bounce, Ireland decided to put in Alex Cusack in place of a very impressive off-spinner the other day, right-arm off-spinner McBride, and he came in, and well, Cusack didn't disappoint. Cusack picked up the wicket of Rohan Mustafa for 2, and that was the time that it looked like Ireland were going to wrap this up quickly, and they were going to probably get United Arab Emirates for a very low score, and finally, I mean, that was probably the plan, because 131 for 6. I thought United Arab Emirates were really struggling there at the crease, but well, the introduction, in the sense the entry of Shaiman Anwar really turned things around. I mean, look at the way that Shaiman Anwar, he was joined in by Amjad Javed, and Amjad Javed is also a very aggressive player, let me tell you, and he gave good company to Shaiman Anwar. And Shaiman Anwar, right from the word go, he had started his stroke making. He was not really overawed by the situation. He really started counter punching. He started going very hard at the Ireland bowlers, and suddenly things were suddenly starting to change as far as United Arab Emirates are concerned, where Shaiman Anwar was playing the pull shot very well, he was driving well, and there was a lot of aggression in his strokes, a lot of power generated from his bat, and looks to be a very good player in the making for United Arab Emirates. Amjad Javed was more passive, one could say, but he was also really giving good support to Shaiman Anwar. And before Ireland could realize, this partnership was really hurting Ireland, because they had almost taken it to the death overs. And what a partnership! In fact, they went on to put a record partnership which yielded 107 runs from 131 for 6. They took the score on to 238. Shaiman Anwar only hitting 1/6, but very well hit 10 boundaries in that knock. And he and Amjad Javed had taken the score to 238. So it was a record 7th wicket partnership in World Cups of 107. And Amjad Javed was finally dismissed as Max Sorensen took his wicket. He was gone for 42 of 35 balls with 5 fours. So that made the score 238 for 7, and the United Arab Emirates score was looking a lot respectable at 238 for 7 in the 47th over. Shaiman Anwar continued his pyrotechnics, and finally Shaiman Anwar managed to reach his maiden century in World Cups. And what a proud moment for United Arab Emirates. He became the first centurion from the United Arab Emirates in a World Cup. And not only that, he was on bended knees when he got to that century, probably thanking God there. And Shaiman Anwar, what a knock from Shaiman Anwar, totally changed the complexion of the game in the sense for United Arab Emirates. And thanks to Shaiman Anwar, who made 106 of 83 deliveries with 10 fours and 1 6. United Arab Emirates sat on a total of 278 for 8 of 9 of the 50 overs. Mohammad Naveed made 13 of 11 balls with 2 fours. Mohammad Takir was not out on 2. Guruge, who played today, was not out on naught. 278 was the final tally for the United Arab Emirates. The bowling, as far as the Irish bowlers were concerned, John Mooney, 6 overs, he bowled only 6 overs, went for 32. But the pick of the bowlers by any stretch of imagination was Alex Cusack, who was included today in place of McBride. Sorry, it's Sterling, who actually played today, and he bowled superbly. 10 overs, no maiden, 2 for 27 for Peter Sterling. Kevin O'Brien caught some real tap in the death overs from the Shaiman Anwar and Amjad Javed. 7 overs, no maiden, 2 for 61. Dockrell bowled 7 overs, 1 for 39. So today Dockrell also leaked some runs, I thought. Alex Cusack, 10 overs, no maiden, 2 for 54. Sorensen was costly, 10 overs, no maiden, 2 for 60. As far as the Irish reply was concerned, well, I would say the Irish reply to a score of 278 didn't start off on the right note. because the talented Sterling was an early victim. Today, Manjula Guruge was the medium pacer was actually included in the team, and Guruge was the one who provided United Arab Emirates the breakthrough as he first got Paul Sterling caught behind for 3. And Guruge was very, very impressive with his bowling. He was absolutely on the mark, and it was a real shame that Manjula Guruge was bowling economically, also picked up the wicket of Peter Sterling after bowling 7 overs no maiden, 1 for 21. Well, unfortunately, he couldn't actually come and bowl his 3 overs, unfortunately, and that was something which was pretty sad, because he was suffering from cramps because of the extreme heat there at the Gabba in Brisbane, and one had to really keep themselves hydrated. And Guruge, unfortunately, was the best bowler according to me in this United Arab Emirates setup today. Could not bowl his 3 overs, and I thought that was a big blow for United Arab Emirates there, as Peter Sterling was dismissed for 3. After that, Ed Joyce came in, and then there was a bit of a partnership as slowly but still it was a very good partnership, in fact, of 68 runs between the captain William Porterfield and Ed Joyce. But then Amjad Javed picked up the wicket of Ed Joyce, who was looking compact on 37 or 49 balls with 3 fours. After that, William Porterfield, when the Irish score reached 94, the off-spinner Mohammad Takir, the captain of the United Arab Emirates team, I thought he has been bowling very well in this World Cup. He was the one who picked up his opposite number, the William Porterfield, the Irish captain. It was clean bowled by Mohammad Takir for 37 or 64 balls with 2 fours. And then it was Niall O'Brien and Andrew Balbirnie at the crease. So 2 new batsmen at the crease. The score read 94 for 3, and Niall O'Brien could make only 17 runs, as Mohammad Takir delivered a very, very nice delivery to Niall O'Brien, and Niall O'Brien was victim. LBW bowled Mohammad Takir for 17 of 24 balls with 1 4, and then Balbirnie was dismissed by Mohammad Naveed for 30 of 41 balls, and that was the time half the side were in, and suddenly there was a bit of pressure on Ireland, because the score read 171 for 5 in the 39th over. So only 11 overs were left, and they had to probably get 108 runs, 107 to 108 runs, and that was of the balance 11 overs. It was, as I said, Kevin O'Brien and Gary Wilson at the crease. But once Kevin O'Brien came, Kevin O'Brien announced his intentions very clearly that he is going. That was expected that they had to score, but as I said, there were only 68 balls remaining, and in 68 balls they had to score. Ireland had to score 107 runs. Well, Kevin O'Brien started clattering the fence time and again. At the other end, Gary Wilson was also playing his strokes, and suddenly this Irish innings was really, really galloping at some very, very good pace. From a score of 171 for 5 in the 39th over, Kevin O'Brien and Gary Wilson totally transformed, especially Kevin O'Brien. He went on swinging as is his wont, and he contributed a very, very quick fire 50 of just 25 deliveries with 8 fours and 2 enormous sixes that were hit, and suddenly Ireland were back into the game, as this partnership added a valuable 70 runs in pretty quick time. Probably in 6 overs they added 70 runs, and that was pretty good going, I thought. 72 runs, that was what precisely they added in those 6 overs, and that really, really changed the whole scenario for Ireland. And Kevin O'Brien was gone for 50, and after that John Mooney was dismissed pretty early for 2 by Amjad Javed, and suddenly there was some pressure, but then Gary Wilson was there at the crease. He started stroking the ball very well, and he saw to it that he was there, but it was very essential that Gary Wilson had to stay. But unfortunately, Gary Wilson was dismissed by Mohammad Naveed after making 80 of 69 balls with 9 fours. And then there was a bit of a pressure with the tailenders at the crease, Alex Cusack and Dockrell. But Alex Cusack and Dockrell kept their cool and saw to it. It went to the final over where 3 runs were required. But Alex Cusack, with a very cool and calm attitude, took Ireland to victory. Cusack was not out on 5. Dockrell not out 7 of 5 balls with 1 4. Match over. Ireland finally winning the match, a very, very exciting match, finally winning with 2 wickets to spare, 2 wickets to spare and 4 balls to spare, and Ireland finally 279 for 8, winning the match by 2 wickets. As far as the bowling was concerned, I thought United Arab Emirates put up a good display, but unfortunately they were close to creating an upset, one could say, but Kevin O'Brien and Gary Wilson changed the whole scenario there. With Kevin O'Brien especially, I thought was instrumental with that pretty big hitting that he did. Mohammad Naveed, 9.2 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 65. Guruge, I thought they missed them because of the cramps. And I also thought that United Arab Emirates faltered in the final stages. The pressure started telling on them. They dropped catches. There was a lot of misfields, and the bowling was not in the right areas. So Guruge was sorely missed. 7 overs, no maiden, 1 for 21. Amjad Javed, 10 overs, no maiden, 3 for 60. Mohammad Takir, I thought, bowled excellently. 9 overs, no maiden, 2 for 38. Rohan Mustafa, 9 overs, no maiden, 1 for 45. And Krishna Chandran, 5 overs, was pretty costly. 43 runs leaking there of 5 overs. And Gary Wilson of Ireland was named man of the match. So congratulations to Ireland. So Ireland are doing well here, and they are definitely keeping an eye on the quarterfinals here with this second victory that they had. Okay, so now the match which is coming up today is going to be between Afghanistan and Scotland, which is going to be played at Dunedin, and I'll be back with a match summary tomorrow early morning on this particular match. Hope you all enjoyed my cricket broadcast, my cricket report on this match between Ireland and United Arab Emirates, which was a pretty close affair. In the end, it was Ireland who prevailed, but United Arab Emirates are definitely showing to the world that why they are actually having a presence in this World Cup 2015. And United Arab Emirates definitely makes me feel proud. The reason being, as I said, I worked for 9 years in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, so United Arab Emirates is always dear to me. That it was something where I really made a living during my earlier days. So United Arab Emirates are definitely showing they have a lot of cricket left in them, and I think we are in for some real exciting matches when United Arab Emirates are playing the opposition. So today's match is between Scotland versus Afghanistan, which will be played at Dunedin, and I'll be back with a full match report tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye for the day. Thank you.